Thanks a lot, everybody, for attending this webinar. The topic of today is how you're going to master damage management in vehicle rentals, especially as an operator. But we will also have a look at the customer side of it and how this fits into digital flow. So today I'm being joined with our partner in Damage ID, Paula. Good to meet you, Paula. And then we have Chandra House as well. So it's very exciting for us. First time having a US partner on our webinars. So this is going to be really cool. So a little bit just quickly who we are. So Sharefox is a rental management system. We launched in 2019. We're headquartered in Oslo, Norway, and we have implemented more than 400 solutions worldwide on 4 continents now. And what we basically do is we enable businesses to create new rental-based services, or we help transform those existing rental operators going more digital. And then I'm so lucky to have with me Damage ID. Paula, you've been launched in 2014. You're headquartered in Boston, and you have quite an impressive list. 80 countries worldwide, fleet sizes from 10 to 14,000, and as far as I know, you have some of the most common names and brands in the rental industry on your business list as well, Paula. It's Enterprise, it's Avids, it's Europcar, Hertz. Yeah.
Well, they are actually they are the franchise owners of those brands. In the United States, where they're corporate locations, the corporate steals Damage ID.
Yeah.
They copy Damage ID at the car rental show, and then they go and develop it. It's not funny, but it's frustrating. When we launched in 2014, we were the first digital inspection solution, and it was quite invigorating, all the people attending the booth. But since then, as you know, it's more of a common practice, thankfully, whatever somebody chooses, to document digitally, because it's for the accuracy.
Yeah. But before we go there, you have been in the industry for quite some time, and you were actually on the other side, let's call it that. You were on the operator side before that. Just give us a little bit of a context. You were operating a car rental in Boston before Damage ID, and how did that transform into what you're doing today?
Well, my husband needed to make money to feed us, and so his brothers had a industry in the car business, but not car rental, and so my husband took that over, and that was over 40 years ago. And he grew from 30 vehicles to, when we had a 6th franchise, he had over 800 vehicles, both on the airport and off airport. But Damage ID came about because he was losing money at the auction for unclaimable damage, those minor scrapes and dents that we lose money on because we don't charge the customer, because we don't have actual proof that's unquestionable proof. So when maybe 15 years ago, he envisioned something, and like they have now at airports, he envisioned more of a tunnel type thing where you actually put a camera on these places for many angles. But when cameras came on cell phones, that was the answer for a mobile inspection. You can take it anywhere. And now even the customer can take the inspection on the Damage ID app. They don't need to download the app. They can get a link and the customer can take the inspection, the car mechanic, the agent. I mean, yeah.
Thanks. We will get back to that.
Yes.
Look very much in deep depth, because the agenda of the day is basically looking at the digital customer journey. What do customers expect today? And I'm so happy because you have this rental operator, and I'm sure that you can comment a little bit on that when we get to it. We're going to look at damage management in general, and then we're going to dive in with Chandrahas on a Damage ID demo that is going live. So I'm really excited for this. You know, I wanted to start from a little bit of the top here. I mean, customer expectations has really changed in the sense of, you know, you mentioned the mobile. It should be easy to get to rent the operator from the operator, and it needs to be a mobile first solutions. You should be able to pay online. It's a requirement. You need to have much more efficient operations today because labors are costly. You have to always have up-to-date availability. Self-service is really coming on, and be able to pick up and return things. You definitely need transparency and integrity. Minimal paperwork. People don't want to fill out all these forms anymore everywhere. They don't want to wait in line. There's 24 access. There's a lot of requirements now that has been coming, and you and me have been talking about that, Paula. There's a difference now, maybe just from 10, 15 years ago, what the customer expect. How do you see that from the US perspective in terms of, you know, the rental operators you talk with and what the customers expect from them?
Well, as you know, in the United States, it's a very fast moving culture, and people want things immediately, instantly. So you're right. They don't want to wait in lines, and they want to be able, you know, the car sharing concept has really taken off, where they want to pick up a car anywhere, and everything's done on their mobile device. Yep, it's fast here. So things have really changed. That's not to take away from great customer service at the family-owned or franchise-owned locations, the neighborhood locations. We still have those, and customer service is very important.
Yeah, I guess what we're seeing here is basically the customer wants to do a lot more himself, but you know, you have to be there as an operator when it matters. You can talk with the customers on when he's concerned or how questions. You need to still be there and do the personalized service. Sharefox is a turnkey platform for vehicle rental. We operate with a digital customer journey. We have a digital webshop flow, availability checks, and payment services. We do the distribution and handling in shop. You can have the pickup and return automations. You can have the order administration, fleet and order management, customer registry, and payment tracking system. All of that in one system, which can be your backbone. But what we are seeing is any system needs to be user-friendly. It needs to integrate with others through open APIs, and you have to test and improve all the time. And this is really interesting in collaborations also with the likes of a Damage ID, which we will get to more. But the digital customer journey now can really change compared also. You can do much more online, check availability, book and pay. You can verify IDs. You can sign terms and contracts. You can have ready of the vehicle and document it, and you can have pickup and drives, returns with self-service. You can have and do the same thing on the back of it when you're coming back. So there's a lot of things now that you can actually push over to the customer, and as an operator, you can make more by going more digital. You can make it more effective as well, and operationally much more efficient. Just wanted to check into a little bit of these opportunities that rests here on the generic journey first, and then we will go very specifically into the damage ID and that part of the journey. So online, mobile first. If a system, you need to have good user experience now. You have to have the high conversion rates. You have to have online payments. I think that's pretty much the norm now. But still, we have a little bit to go on making it as accessible and easy. You can verify the customers in the Nordics. You can do it even with the bank ID, which is a digital verification format, so you know who the customer is. But there's also checking the driver license and these matters. Furthermore, you can connect up and go paperless with contracts, with e-signatures on your terms, and you can send it to the customer devices on different formats, email, SMS, or sign it in the shop if you're there. You have self-service operations for 24/7 unmanned operations, where you can get the access to the car or the keys, so they are provided within just the given time period of the booking. We have some great examples here, and we have Björk from Sharefox on the digital lockers, which is placed on many airports around in Europe. But you can also have mobile apps with a key fob solution more for fleets and these kind of things. So you can increase the customer access and even opening hours and decrease personal cost of manual handovers by really going much more into digital tools and solutions than you could just a few years ago. What we're going to dive more into today is car inspections and documentations of that. I got this list from you, Paula, and we talked about it. I mean, you actually, interestingly, in your value proposition, or when we talk, you don't talk about the financials first. You talk about the customer trust and integrity first. Why is that?
Well, it's the most important, because the customer, before we were in the car rental industry, my husband and I, we had a distrust for the car rental industry. We believed that the car rental owner wanted to make money from us by charging us for damage that we didn't do. And that was our conception, and it still exists. The customer is afraid to borrow a car and sign a contract, and they're responsible, and they're afraid they're going to be charged for pre-existing damage. So using a digital inspection tool takes that fear completely away from them. We didn't realize that when we came up with this idea. We thought it was to protect our assets, when in fact it protects the customer. They are so pleased that we are supporting them, and they will have no doubts and they will not be charged for previous damage. So yeah, it's a win-win situation. And as far as the cost goes, it absolutely pays for itself. It's a monthly subscription, pretty minimal, unlimited users, unlimited locations. So it's based on fleet, and yeah, it pays for itself every month.
Yeah. And then you were saying, and you were starting this by actually talking about the fleet in the family-owned operations and how you sort of lacked documentation on it when you were going to the auction house and so on. And you also, as far as I could see, just in the last month, have signed up with an insurance claim agency. Can you talk a little bit about that part of the fun, protecting in a way your fleet by this?
Yeah, it's an idea we've had for several years actually, and we noticed another claim agency at the International Car Rental Show came up with their own damage inspection to to fit into. They developed it themselves, and it's part of their claims system. But most of the claims do not have a digital inspection. So this company, Hawkeye Claims, actually integrated with us. So all the inspections go right into the claim system. They have all the before documentation, all the before data. So when the insurance claim is made, there are no questions, and it moves very quickly because of the documentation.
And then I guess you talked about also there was some examples and maybe even some stories about the after sales value, how you can actually, by knowing what the car has been through, you can get a better price at auction houses and these kind of things when people know that they have been going through rentals with a lot of different drivers. I guess that's a part of how you could get more out of your fleet once you want to rotate that as well.
Yes, but we find that using Damage ID, we are able to recover the costs for the unclaimable damage from the customer. Now, it's not something that happens every 5 or 10 rentals, actually. It's probably more like every 30 or 40 rentals. But these minor damages, when they're well documented, the customer knows that they are responsible. And they really don't hesitate to pay because, they know it happened when they were responsible for the vehicle. And that way they don't even have to go through insurance. So, yeah.
I guess it saves a lot of time, both for the operator, the customers, and everything, because you can, as we will see now, when I'm leaving this over to you, Chandra House, for the demo, taking and documenting damages before and after, and even able to send it to the customer makes any dispute, I guess, there's less to dispute about, to put it like that. All right. I am now going to leave it over for a Damage ID demo, and then we will come back a little bit on this topic. Chandra House, I will stop my presentation here and leave it a little bit to you, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, so I will be sharing my screen, and that also shares my mobile phone screen, so I can demonstrate the app to you.
Chandra House is our Chief Technology Officer, and he is responsible for developing a lot of the features that we've had in Damage ID. And he continues as we work on AI being launched in April.
Yeah, thanks, Paula. And so I'm just like sharing my screen. Like, do you all see my screen, right?
Yep, we got a thumbs up.
Yep. Okay, so this is our app. So we have app on both platforms like iOS and Android, and you can just download it from Play Store. And every employee can have their own login. So this is an employees app, and you can start your inspection by using the unit number or scan the VIN number or license plates. It's up to you to choose how you want the inspection to be started. Let me choose vehicle number 3 here for the demo. And let me start with the inspection. So here you can see there's a checklist. There are different pre-configured positions that you expect them to capture the photos of or the videos. Let's start with the checklist. So you can enter the mileage. You can also choose the fuel level and other inspection options. All these are customizable and can be changed and set according to your requirement. And once you finish that, you'll get to the next position here. So here you can see the name of the position here. You can capture a video or a photograph. So we capture the dashboard so that you can have the mileage and the other thing visually documented too, and any engine lights and other options on the dashboard. You go to the next position here. So here you can see a red silhouette that guides you which position you're expected to capture, and also the name on the right top. You can capture the photo here and go to the next one. And you can also click on show existing damages here. So that would bring up the damages from previously marked on this particular vehicle, so that you know that damage was already documented and a known damage. And you can always mark new damages. You can select the type of damage, write some comment there, and you can add damages as you perform the inspection so that you document them while going out. And then you just continue with the process. It's a very quick process, and you can also capture a video. You can capture a 10-second video on every position. We also have like flash for the parking lots or night times, and also like exposure to get the right exposed image, because we need proper image for the documentation. You can also skip few positions and also mark few positions as required. You can also add more positions on the go. So you want some close-up of some damage, you can also do it for this inspection itself. And once you finish capturing all the images, you can just take the signature from the customer, agreeing to the state of the vehicle. And these photos would be uploaded back to our server, and you can access them again. You can also share the case or the inspections with the customer right here from the mobile, and they would get an email with PDF of all the inspected pictures. And let me dive back to the our backend portal. So where you manage all your fleet, your inspections, and everything here. So let me filter it by unit number 3 and all. So you can see that the current inspection here is here on rent status, and you only have like going out and no return case here. So when I open it, you can see the information on the top with the signature. And then you have the checklist for before and after data here, and all the damages here. So you can also see that these are like AI detected damages. So we have a model that we are trying to improve, and we have a new version coming out this April. So even the AI tries to find the damages automatically, and you can alter them here or correct them here. So you can see these 2 damages are marked by AI here. And then you can also damage additional damages too. on the portal if something is missed by the inspector on the field. And everything is documented and stored for this case. Video here too, and additional damages. And also on the bottom, you can see there's a timestamp and also the license plate and also the location enabled on each photo so that you know when and where the photo was captured. And when the vehicle is returned back to you, those inspection appear on the side so that you can easily compare the side by side in the state of the vehicle before and after rental. So that's like our side by side view there. And we also have like a new version, we call it like customer self inspection, where you can just send a link to the customer and they can click on the link through email or SMS and inspect the vehicle by themselves without downloading any app. Let me just show you how you can use that. And you can mix and match it with the regular inspection. So you can have going out inspection done by the agent through the app, and the return inspection, if the vehicle is returned off site or off hours drop off, the customer can just do it and they do appear next to each other. So I can just say here, Sharefox user and maybe email, select the unit number. I'll just choose it as check-in and send an email. So for the demo, I'm just using the QR code here. So yeah, so when the customer clicks on the link, this is how they would it would just open in their browser. So you can see it's a mobile browser, and they have this character that just guides them throughout the inspection. So let me take the photos here.
The character's name is Oscar. Oscar guides them.
And you can see the sample image on the top where the customer can know what image you are expecting them to capture. Then you can swipe to continue. So here you have the dashboard and the next positions as we scroll through the positions here. And you can see that it's all done in the browser and it's all seamless process. They do not jump between camera app and the browser. And they have the sample images. That's also configurable by the customer, by the rental agent here. And once they finish it, they just click on finish and done. So it's that simple for the customer to inspect the vehicles through the browser. And as an agent, when you come back to your case page here, and let me search by unit number. So here you can see that the case here was inspected by the agent. And this is the driver's name. You can see by the driver's icon here. And when you open the case, you can see the side-by-side photos of going out and return, where the left photos are captured by the agent, and on the right is by the customer through his browser. And you can see that the AI also tracked and found few damages here. And yeah, that's our overview. I would say we have like more features too, like you can track all the damages under damages report.
Yeah, can you show them that, Chandrahouse? One of the viewers wants to know where the damage reporting. You can see that.
Yeah. So under damages is where you can see all the damages that you have in your fleet. You can also download them as a CSV and use it in your workshop or like in other places. So you get description of the damage, the type of damage, when it was marked, if it was fixed, when it was fixed, any comments you add to it too. And even on the case page, when you're on the case page here, you can look into your existing damages of this particular vehicle just by clicking on show existing damages. So that brings up all the damages that have been marked on this particular vehicle.
That's excellent. Thank you, Chandrahouse. Oscar, do you have any questions, or does anybody else have any questions?
I guess there's one option here, maybe, that I think we discussed also. It is it looks to me like really simple to use, Ras. And we talked about that maybe you could set it out to contractors, and that maybe is a thing in the US, and also what we are seeing here. I mean, like upon a return, you can have a local repair shop or a washer or something like that use Damage ID, and how would that work then?
Yeah, so in that case, you can always create unlimited users. So you would create a new user for your workshop or contract location and select them as user app only. So they get their own login, and they can just download the Damage ID app from the Play Store or the App Store and use their login to actually inspect the vehicle. And they would just appear back on your page here. And you can also like separate those inspections from your regular inspections too. So we have like templates where you can have different set of templates. So you can have different set for inspection, your regular inspection, and one for your contract. If you don't want to mix them up, you can have them as maybe like pre-inspection, or call them off location inspection, something like that. So you have different set of positions there and can separate those inspections from your regular one too. And you can have like unlimited inspection types here. So you can have pre-inspection, your workshop, or yeah, it's up to you how you configure the system.
And do you have, it looks like you have different templates. So if you want to get going with this, you can start from a pre-existing template and adjust it to your needs?
Yes, yeah. So everybody has the default template that's called Damage ID, Damage Inspection 7. So where you can use the same template and configure your positions, mark it as required, select the silhouette. So we have different silhouettes that you can choose from. You can select the sample images that you see for the customer, and also like enable the positions there. And yeah, you can use the existing one and configure it according to your need itself, and without creating a new one. Is there a question?
Yeah. Bjart has a question.
Yes. If you are thinking about a setup where you have a fully self-service solution, fully digital and self-service solution, where the customer is coming, picking up the car, and dropping off the car again later, without using an agent or without interacting with other people. He does do it himself. Do you have any experience from those kind of situations where the customer, do they take the pictures and document the car before, or do you just give them the documentation of the existing car when they rent it, when they pick it up, and then when they drop it off again, they of course need to take some updated pictures and document the new status? Or do you have a kind of some experience from a kind of fully self-service setup?
Yes, yeah, we do have a few customers who use it for like mostly like most of them use it for like off-hours drop-off. So where the customer can get a link and inspect the vehicle. But few airport locations in US, mostly their workflow work in a way where they prepare the car or like clean the car and bring it to the parking lot and leave it there. So when they drop the vehicle, or when the agent who cleaned the vehicle and parks the vehicle, he uses pre-inspection template to capture those photos and use that as a backup to send to the customer in case the customer doesn't capture the images or he's in a hurry and he forgets. They use the pre-inspection template to capture those pre-ready photos and send it to the customer and use it as a reference when the vehicle is brought back and if they see any damage there.
It's becoming very popular. Yeah, like you said.
And we are also having a new version where we pre-present the photos from pre-inspection or previously captured photos on the customer inspection itself. So our new version on the customer inspection, they would be presented with the pre-captured photos. So they can just accept those photos, or they can retake a new picture if they're not satisfied. So that also helps the customer to quickly complete the inspection, or yeah, it just saves time for them when they're in a hurry, just to accept the pre-captured photos. And yeah, just say, like, it's more like they look at the pictures, accept it or retake it if they don't like it, and yeah, and they get the report as soon as they finish the inspection.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Is there any difference on the operations if you have 10 cars or 10,000 cars in terms of how you approach and scale it?
Actually, there's not.
No.
The company with 10,000, it's funny. People thought, oh my goodness, we're going to get calls every day. There's a problem. We've had this customer for 3 years, and I think maybe we've had, I can't say, 5 calls. And it's it's unlimited agents, unlimited locations. I mean, they have the whole Hertz Mexico. So they're able to operate seamlessly and quickly and simply. I think the word simple that you said, Åsgeir, is the key. And it's quick. It's less than 1 minute. So we're not talking a lot of time here. But there were some questions, Chandrahouse.
Yeah, so let me show you the PDF. So you can always generate or download the PDF from the case page too. So you can just click on export photos here and export to PDF. So that would download the both going out and written photos in a PDF. 1 second.
And Marius also asked about the checklist. I think that's what he wants. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so yeah, you can download the PDF here. So even the PDF is customizable according to your design. We have the basic version where you can just update the logo and other details for the email. Yeah, but you can see the information, the case information, the signature out and in. We don't have the in here because it was a customer inspected to the browser, but in the new version we have the signature pad too, so that will be out in April. And you can see all the photos with the damages marked. And yeah, I'm coming to the checklist. Yeah, you can see the checklist at the end with previous and after. We don't have the checklist on the customer's side on the browser, because if you have like a long list,
no, it take too long
to go through all. So in that case, the pictures would speak for itself if there are any damages. So that's why we have the dashboard, so that you can always capture the odometer and fuel. And the other question,
Fred asked about the camera being on the browsers.
Yep, that was like one of the tricky thing that we had to figure out, because we can do it in 2 different ways, where the customer jumps between the browser and camera app to capture it, where they don't require any permissions. But here in our approach, you would get a pop-up initially requesting to give access to the camera in the browser. So they just have to like accept it, like allow the camera to capture, I mean, permissions to allow the camera on the browser. So there wouldn't be and there would be any issues with allowing camera access to the browser. But we do have like a fallback, I would say, where if they don't want to access, or then they have to like jump between the camera app to capture the image, and then it jumps back to the browser. So that wouldn't be that easy, but yeah, it's like a fallback, or that would work. Yep, and regarding the other question, so we have the new AI that would have the newly trained model with it. So that would reduce the most false positives. I mean, it does a pretty good job on the scratches and other areas, but the new model is trained with more images, so it can perform much better and reduce the false positive. And coming to the next question, so yes, you can get alerted on the damages. So on the settings, you have the option where you can add multiple emails. So when there is a damage detected, you can get an email with notifying you that there's a damage marked or found on the.
But is it new damage or any damage or old damage? Or
So I can show you here. So here you can see the difference too. So this is like a regularly marked damage, so you don't have like the AI detected. So you get an email with the case information and the actual image with few zoomed in images here, notifying there's a damage on that particular vehicle and case. And this is like the AI detected to show you that these are the AI detected damages. And this is our like link that can be sent to the customer. So, and this is totally configurable too. That was just a sample there. So under sharings, you can always configure your email subject and other properties of your email. And it's up to you how you configure it. So, and what
new questions from Rental.
Yeah, so our AI model right now has like 7 different types of damages that we focus on. So it's like if you classify it, there would be like broken pieces and cracks on the windshield. I mean, in our testing, the windshield cracks are a little tricky because it's a see-through, and then you see the opposite road, you see the inside seats and all. So it's a little tricky on the windshield cracks. But we have like good sample on like good detection on scratches, dents, and broken pieces, and like even even the cracks. But I would say the model gets improved more as we train it, and it's a continuous journey to improve your model. And we don't have any rust damages as of now, but they may be classified as chips. But I doubt if we actually separate it as rust damages.
But we also still use human intelligence. I think we've forgotten about HI.
And yeah, I mean, you can always come back to your case, and we have your cases and all the photos like up to 2 years and open to increase it even more, like store them even more. So you can always come back to your case anytime and view the picture, so the picture doesn't lie. You can zoom in and see, okay, there's the damage, or that was not here before, and you can always do that. Any other questions? Yeah, okay, guess. Yep. So under damages, damage reports is where you can see that we have like not fixed and fixed. So you can mark them as fixed so that they don't appear as existing damages on your app when you click on show existing damages. Okay, so how reliable are the detection? Can you showcase some damage detection done by our AI? I mean, the samples that we did, I mean, the model detections right here are by the AI, like the AI detected here. But I can maybe share you later with the actual vehicle detections done by our AI. I would say it's like 75 or 70% there with our current model, but we have like the new model that's being trained, and we will launch it in April first week. That has like more sample data that is trained and improved accuracy. So thank you.
Wonderful. I guess all this talk about AI, I mean, it's a decision support in a way also. And as Paula said, there's a person there taking the damage, and they can get extra support from the AI. Thank you, Chandras, for very good, excellent presentation. I think what we will wrap up is a little bit like some of the just the best practices at the end of it from how can you basically best do damage management, and I think we have touched upon it during this presentation and this demo, but I think these are 3-4 things that you know, the rental operators, Paula, from what you have experienced, you know, standardizing and training your staff and so on. You know, can you just summarize a little bit the best practices that you've seen? How can you get the most out of damage idea and even damage management practices as a company? You're on mute.
I'm sorry. The first thing is to make sure that the inspection is conducted. And sometimes, you know, in our busyness or in a rush, we say, oh, it looks fine. It looks fine. We don't need to take a pre or before picture, when in fact, those are so crucial because that's the comparison. Look, you went out with it. This is how it appeared. This is the condition, without any, you know, the proof is in the picture. And so we need that documentation. It takes less than 1 minute. And to get them to do it. Now, when we launched in 2014, these digital inspections were brand new in the whole, well, as far as I know, in the world, everyone was using paper and pencil. Now it's been 11 years. There are still people using paper and pencil, which has no proof, absolutely no proof. It's subjective, a scratch or a circle or whatever. But the digital inspection, whatever tool you choose to use, they've got to use it. And, you know, my husband, actually, he's a big one for extrinsic motivation, he calls it, meaning he loves to give them a prize. And actually, Chandra House has an idea. He wants to turn damage ID into a game. So when you mark your damage, you know, you get confetti or you get balloons that go, good job, or something. So that, because people need this motivation to, you know, give themselves an award or a reward for doing something that they're supposed to do. But encourage those managers or cleaners or the customer, it's all best practice to take the inspection.
Yeah. I think we've been through it. You're standardizing your vehicle inspection procedures and using damage ID before and after. That's a great way to enforce it. Obviously, you have to train staff, but it's pretty self-explanatory on how it's done. It's a very interesting the way you showed that you can communicate transparently with the customer. You could send it to the customer even before, or even have the customers do the inspections. And finally, you having a documentation of checklist for, you know, and have the thorough inspections done, take the photos, and you have an archive of all the vehicle rentals for I guess years, if you would like that.
Yep. We have a 2-year minimum, and if people want it longer, that's okay. And even if they choose to leave damage ID, they don't lose their inspections. We have a way for them to get them. So, yeah, they don't have to be worried about anything.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for everybody participating. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for Paula and Chandra for the great insights in damage management and a great demo, so you can see how it works and how easy it looks like. If you have afterwards any questions to either us or Damage ID, feel free to reach out. And with that, I wish you all great afternoon or morning, wherever you are, and thank you for taking part of this.